Men of Reddit, what is the nicest compliment you've ever received from a girl? Had a girl my junior year of high school. One day the teacher puts 5 of us in a group and we are sitting opposite end and she just blurts out that I have the nicest smile she has seen. I was super shy as a kid, but that there gave me so much confidence and made me really think I wasn't all that ugly. My grandma told me I was the most handsome boy in the world also, and I'm 100% serious on this one. A girl with Down syndrome walked into a bowling alley in a group. She saw me and walked towards me as I was playing in the arcade. DDR. She stood next to me and said loudly, "He's cute." I dated a girl with a mental illness. It wasn't schizophrenia, but some other thing, where her brain would constantly tell her the people around her could read her thoughts and were plotting against her. I know that sounds like schizophrenia, but she was diagnosed and receiving treatment for something I forget the name of. Anyway, we were cuddling in bed one night when she turned to me and said, "When I'm with you, I don't need to convince myself that voice is not real." I tell it to shut up, and it's gone. Of all the things any partner has ever said to me, this one will probably stick with me forever. We were talking about going bald, and she said that I could pull it off because I have a symmetrical face. Heard 2 girls discreetly talking about how good my butt looked while they were walking down the sidewalk behind me. I guess they figured I couldn't hear what they were saying, but after 30 seconds of them going on about it, I thought it would be funny to embellish my walk and start really putting my hips into it. They instantly started laughing their asses off. The best compliment I ever got was by accident. I was walking along the street with my friend when a young boy and his mother overtook us, and the boy was dumbstruck by me and was practically walking backwards to stare at me. I was used to it and tried to ignore it. I have dwarfism, making me 4 feet tall and my limbs disproportionate to my body. It also affects how I walk. The staring is just part of my life point, except my friend was absolutely baffled. She asked, "What the hell is that kid's problem?" I laughed, thinking she was just trying to be nice and make me feel better, but I realized by the look on her face that she genuinely didn't understand what the boy was staring at. I hesitated and said, "Well, you know," gesturing to myself. She frowned at me for a couple more microseconds before suddenly looking incredibly embarrassed. "Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot." Seeing her genuine revelation made me so happy. I just started laughing. It felt amazing to know that she 100% saw me as normal and couldn't think why someone would find me strange. I couldn't stop smiling for the rest of the day. She just felt embarrassed. Edit, emphasizing the dwarfism part, since it seems people missed it and thought I was implying that I was really ridiculously good looking, which I found hilarious. I mean, I am, but I'm also a dwarf. Call me Dwarven Steel. My mom says I'm a nice man and anyone would be lucky to have me. Edit, holy shit, I just posted this without even thinking, and I come back to my first silver and then 3 more. Thanks. My mom told me I was popular once, and I'm starting to believe her. Maybe not exactly what you asked for, but it technically fits so. Last year I met a very nice lady while playing video games. She was a fair bit older than me, like around 50. I'm 17. She is honestly the kindest person I have ever met. We started talking more about some personal stuff and became really close. She told me about her 4 kids and her struggles to pay the bills, and I told her about my mental health issues. Turns out she suffered through much of the same things that I'm struggling with. We try to help and support each other as much as we can. Well, recently she told me that she cares about me like one of her own boys. I think about that a lot. It really hit me hard. I did a stint as a DJ/presenter on a local radio station. I did the 2200 hours, 0000 hours show 5 nights a week. A woman would ring the studio several times a week to tell me that the sound of my voice made her come. I was once called a hunk by a lesbian. 20+ years later I'm still trying to work that one out. I had a girl message me the day after hanging out last week that asked me what my skincare regimen was. She claimed my skin was glowing and so plump and flawless. She insisted on knowing what products I used. I was flattered to know she picked that up, even though I don't do anything special. Edit, people messaging me about my skincare routine. Seriously nothing. I drink a couple liters of water each day, work out after work and sit in the steam room for 10 minutes after that. Maybe the water and sweat combo? I don't know. Seriously nothing special. Edit 2. I moisturize with Street Ives body lotion with cranberry. Literally bought it because it smelled nice. People think I'm out here smearing caviar on my face or some shit. You have an amazing body and jawline. For someone who's been fat for most of his life and struggled with body image issues, this was one of the nicest things she could have said. Early on in our relationship, my now wife told me that she usually didn't sleep well, except when I was there, and then she fell asleep easily, which is especially impressive at the time, given we were cramming me, 6 feet 3 inches, and her, 5 minutes and 11 seconds, into a standard twin bed. A little different than most responses here, my stepdaughter told my wife that she, my stepdaughter, wished she could have a relationship as fun and loving as my wife and I share. As a guy who grew up with plenty of bad relationship examples, I was quite proud to hear this. Sometimes I make food that my wife requests. I'm nowhere near as good a cook as she is, but I can make sure the cheese is grilled. Sometimes after I make her something she asked for, she'll text me saying that it tastes just like her deceased grandmother had made it. For someone who can't really cook, that's one of the best compliments she gives me. That I could be a great comedian. When I was 16 I had really long hair, metal fan and stuff. After vacation I came back to school with short hair, and one of the hot girls in my class said, "I really like that you cut your hair." On the one hand I was happy people liked it, on the other hand it basically told me it looked like Sid before. I was on a date with a Lithuanian girl who didn't have much English. She wasn't incapable of speaking it, it was just very broken. Things got a bit hot and heavy back at mine after the date, when she stopped at one stage, looked into my eyes for a few seconds, and said, "I love your eyes. Sometimes I see angel and sometimes I also see devil." Still to this day the best thing any girl has said to me, plus she was smoking hot so that helped. I should add though, that she meant devil in the playful sexy sense, rather than the evil and dangerous way. I have a story. So I do theater, and I was talking to some of my friends, waiting for it to start. One of them looks at me and says, out of the blue, "Wow, your eyes are so beautiful." Now, I had never been complimented on my eyes before, so I felt really good. I told her this, and soon everyone was all over me, complimenting my eyes. One girl even said, "I thought everyone told you that, so I didn't bother." I was blushing so hard, I had to step outside and take a moment to collect myself. Edit, I can't send a pic of my eyes, not any good ones, and I can't take another one because my phone is out of storage. Edit 2, I posted a bad pic on r/eyes. Was watching Aladdin with a girlfriend one day. The scene where he steals a bread, but ends up giving it to the orphans despite being hungry himself. She points to the TV and says with a big smile, "That's you." Off topic, but I'm a woman and have read a few times on Reddit that men are not frequently complimented. With this in mind, I've made an effort to give genuine compliments to the men in my life. A coworker of mine usually wears dark clothes, but randomly wore a bright jacket a few weeks ago. I complimented him, "Bright colors really look nice on you." He told us he went shopping over the weekend and has been wearing lots of bright colors to work this week. I'll get the ball rolling. I have medium length hair for a guy, about maybe to the base of my neck at a push. A girl who was standing behind me said, "How does he have better hair than me?" under her breath. That made me smile a lot. Talking to my crush and I asked what she liked about me the most, not random. We were playing a game asking each other whatever we wanted, and she said, "Your smile. It always lights up your face and makes me happy." I usually have a pretty depressed look on my face, just because that's the way I look, but I've had my smile complimented multiple times. This one's my favorite though. Edit, to anybody reading this again for some reason, I've got pics on my profile, at the request of someone, if you wanna verify lol. You're the type of guy I wish my son grows up to be. I was singing in my car one day and didn't notice these two girls pull up next to me at a stoplight. One of them got my attention and told me I had a wonderful voice. Felt good. My wife agreed to marry me. You're cute, in a way you also say to a pet, not in the way of being a cute guy. You deserve to be happier than you are. Tie between two weird ones. You have beautiful eyebrows. And apparently I have a sexy back edit. I'm definitely not Justin Timberlake. I always feel safe with you. It meant a lot, and was also a huge turn on that she felt like she could trust me to watch out for her, and that my presence could give her peace of mind. Same person, not sure which I liked more, so I'll tell you both. Shortly after having an epiphany and realizing my best friend liked me as more than a friend, we found yet another thing we have in common, and I sort of jokingly said something close to, well, there's one more thing I can add to the list of reasons I like you. If I was making a list, she responded with, I don't have a list. I could write a book, but I don't think I'd ever finish it. A year later, we were talking about getting married. This is in the far off future yet, while I was packing to move, and we were on the phone. She said something very close to, I just want to have a party with a bunch of our friends to celebrate the fact that I finally get to marry my best friend. I smiled. It was nice to hear. Then all of a sudden the realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Dude, you're her best friend. She's talking about you. I had to put the phone down, shed a few tears, and wipe my face. You're like a dad in a good way. You dress all cute and sit, and your hot made me giggle. 2 stories. One, in college I was in the dorm lounge with a group of around 15 people all telling stories, etc. when the girl next to me says, "You're so innocent." I cracked a self-deprecating joke about it, but then she leans in and whispers, "No, like fresh meat," then bites my earlobe. 2, one time I was sitting in my car at a stoplight and an older black lady in the next car over leans out and says, "Damn, you sexy for a white boy." 3, was waiting tables in college when I approached one of my tables, 4 girls, to take orders, and the one girl with her back to me turned around and immediately blurted out, "Oh, sorry, you're cute." It was the first time I ever got an audible, completely reactive cue about my looks. Feels Goodman.